Here we go.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good and you?
Good. I don't know if you've met Chris before.
No, I don't
No,
think so.
we haven't. Well, it's official not face to face, but good to meet you, G.
Likewise. See, the man's enjoying a post-workout day.
Bruh, this is like not even post workout. Like I told Lyle now, I'm so sick of eating. I can't wait to starve again. Like fucking off season, bruh. Like crazy.
Nah, listen, enjoy it. 1 week to prep now. 1 week, and I'm already hungry, bro. I'm like, oh.
Dude, crazy, hey?
Yeah, but like it always happens that way, bro. You know, it's always like both like shit ends of the spectrum when you get to that stage.
Dude,
You're like, I can't wait to
gotta-
diet, and then you diet, you're like, fuck.
I
And then you
love
start. Then
bodybuilding,
what
yeah.
I used to do, I remember when we used to get to like 3 or 4 weeks out. For some stupid reason, I used to watch fucking cooking programs. Just because I was just looking forward to that, like, you know, a couple of weeks after the show, and it was the worst thing to do. Worst thing to do.
No, dude, that's the best. I always remember the beginning of prep. I used to buy everything I craved. So I used to go to like Spa, and if you see Oreos, I'll buy it. And then eventually afterwards, like you got this fucking stack of food, and then you try to eat it, dude, and then afterwards, like you're obviously because your stomach shrank so much, I was sick for days, and I was like, never again,
Yeah.
never again. But also now with shows, like we do such, I wouldn't say a dirty carb up, but we do like, you know, burgers and fries and Pop Tarts. And what I've noticed, my body really responds well to glucose and, you know, things like that. So we don't do water drops, we don't do diuretics or anything like that. And actually, I don't crave food at all. After show day, everybody's like, "What are we gonna have?" I'm like, "Dude, I just want to go home and just like fucking sleep."
With
Yeah.
all that food, all that sugar, you just want water.
Dude, it fuck's sakes, 100%.
You just want water and something fresh, bro. I've also had that before. You just like, I want like, really, I've never ever in my life been like, hey, Oaks, let's go out for dinner and I'll order a salad. Never ever in my life. Like, never. But after the
No,
show,
bro.
you'd be, like, I would be like, fuck, I actually wouldn't mind a salad right now because I've been carving up for the last 3 days, you know?
My last show, I wanted a fruit salad, bro. That's all I wanted.
Dude,
Fresh fruit salad.
I got a savory, so you know, like master course, like, you know, like meat and like just like proper like food, dude, and not like anything that's refined or sugar or anything like that. Just like proper fucking food is my biggest craving. I used to crave sweet stuff, but just savory now, dude. Like fucking a chicken and mushroom pie. Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
A
a
garage
garage
pie.
Dude, I would fucking demolish that thing, hey?
Yeah, it's weird the different cravings you get. It's like when chicks get pregnant, bro. That's how you feel. You're like this weirdest cravings ever. Let me just check here. I think is Hugo's gonna jump on now, I think. Anyways, we might as well start off. So listen, Ahmad, do you remember the last podcast we were talking about how we kind of want to get into like different companies and sponsorships and, you know, all that stuff. It's funny that we say that. We're literally on one of the Q&As today. I got a great question from a viewer. So I don't know if we should probably wait for the other boys, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're responding. So I might as well just go for it. So this is the question. Okay, question. Comments on the next podcast. Sponsors. We hear a lot of sponsors, especially supplement sponsors, speak about athletes must at least have used their product and been posting it before they can be considered as a candidate for the sponsorship, along with notoriety and social media following. But then you see them announce a new athlete that you have never seen them post anything related to them, hasn't won much, and has moderate following. So this begs the question, what is the actual criteria, and have you guys noticed any favoritism in the offering of sponsorships recently in SA?
Funny enough, I know exactly which company this guy's talking about.
Me also. I know exactly.
You know, hey?
Oh, bro, like
Uh,
that question that only the companies can ask. But like, I'm gonna be honest and blunt. I don't care if I get backlash for it or not. Or what? Like I said,
best ever.
I've I've never been sponsored yet in my life. I hadn't had sponsors approach me. Nothing. I've tried getting sponsors and whatever. Never got every response, whatever. But I'm gonna say at the end of the day is what we call, and put it in Afrikaans term, booty skap. That's what I'm gonna just. At the end of the day, that's what it is and what it looks like. Like I said, like the question is there. It states everything. Like these sponsors and say they say no, you need this amount of followers, blah blah blah. There was last year there was an athlete that was taken on by a company. Um, Announced, no, this is our new athlete, full sponsored, what. And I click on this guy's page, and there's another brand that's still blasted on his page. I'm like, huh? How does this make sense? And on top of it, his following was like poor, like dirt poor. I'm like, what's going on here? So, in my opinion, that's what it blatantly looks like. That it's just plain old what you say, booty scap when it comes to certain companies, in my opinion. I don't know. You guys can add on to it or elaborate on it if you feel.
Yeah, so look, it's hard to say, at the end of the day, with regards to like our athletes, we have had, obviously a lot of people reach out to us that have had crazy social media followings, and they're very popular and this and that, but they just don't match the brand. So it's like, so that's unfortunately that's just the way it works. If you don't match the brand, it kind of just, the social media following is good and all, but we're looking for something specific. So look, I actually don't know which company you guys are talking about, just because I don't like, you know what I mean. We stick to GHR, and I don't really I try not take notice of what the other guys are doing, really. So we don't sit there, in meetings and go, okay, so what is this company doing? And we don't like to do that. We want to be completely different. But especially for the guys that are asking, for the one part of that question is, how do you get a sponsor? It's it all depends. First of all, is the company looking for sponsors? A lot of the time, or looking for athletes. So a lot of the time, they might not be looking for athletes. Second is, when you ask them, when you speak to a company and you ask them, hey guys, this is my social media, this is what I do, whatever, and have a small pitch to them. That's cool. But we've had guys in the past. I can actually give you an example. Literally, like 2-3 days ago, whenever some guy, and I promise you, I get this maybe 2-3 times a week, like this rude, like DM that comes through. This guy says to us, "Hey, bro, it's a company, but anyways, hey, bro, listen, send me some vest. I'll look pretty good in them for your brand." You know how many vests I sent him? Fuck all. You know what I mean? Of course, you're not gonna get something. Speaking to people like that. So that's the one thing. Uh, my other advice would just be, obviously, grow your social media following. Tag that company. Tag that company in all your posts and really interact with the company. A lot of guys that have influenced GHR, for us to bring them on, is posting, tagging us, even picking up a vest or shirt or whatever, and promoting the shit out of us. Then only sending a message saying, listen, hey guys, I dig your brand. This is what I'm about. This is what I do. I'm competing. I'm not competing. Whatever the story is, please really look at me as a candidate. Cool. Then we obviously speak to the team and we look at it like that. So look, it's a bit of a process, and every company will be different. But the whole favoritism thing, look, that's going to come into play. It's definitely going to come into play. Like with all these companies, it's going to happen. This guy's uncle's daughter's sister, whatever, they know each other, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just, it shouldn't be like that, because at the end of the day, you're looking at your company and saying, what's the best thing we can do for the company? That's not the best thing to do for your company, because if they got 500, if they got 300-400 followers, there's no point to bring the person on. Unfortunately, you can be the best bodybuilder in the world these days, and you have 10 followers. Not many companies are going to snatch you up, and it's unfortunate, because it should be how your physique looks, the person you are. That's what it should be, but it's not like that today. Anyways, Mickey, you go. What's happening?
What's up?
I think load shedding hit Chris.
Dude, I'm waiting for this generator to kick in.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Wow.
Easy.
Chris, you haven't met the other boys before, have you?
I haven't. This is all fresh to me as well. How's it, guys?
What's up? How you doing?
We got Chris Bumsey
Good,
on podcast.
Not quite, but we're getting there, boy. Yeah, dude. Like, on the sponsorship, dude. Like, this is something I wanted to touch base on. Is firstly, is if you're looking for one, and I think we spoke about this briefly as well. Is like, what can you do for the company? Like, it's an investment. Let's take GSR for example. What can you bring the company? Like, if you just send me vests, like, it's a lot of guys out there like, cool, I just want supplements, but have 15,000 followers, which 15,000 is bought. That is a real big thing currently in the industry, is like people buying followers. So that's one thing that I like to say. Favoritism is a thing. And if you apply for a sponsorship, Brad Bodsworth, he touched base on this quite briefly. He's like, create a CV. Like, if you're going to apply for a job, exactly the same way. Like, apply a athlete CV and saying, this is me, this is how I compete, this is the shows I'm planning through, this is what I've done, this is my Instagram, etc., etc. And then you, as a brand owner, can actually have an in-depth look at what is going on. So yeah, dude, that's just my 2 cents about the situation.
Yeah. So if I can touch on that, so we've actually we prefer that. So some of the athletes that we've brought on, or ambassadors that we had an ambassadors program at a stage, and that was the best. It's a lot more professional. You send the company a proper email, CV, all your details, all your information. It just creates a bit of a better, a better chance of you getting it. It's a bit more professional, and you go like that. So that's definitely one. So look, with regards to an athlete, at the end of the day, and a company, it's a give and take. It's not, because the reason why I'm saying is because I've had this before, and it's we give and get nothing in return, and then it doesn't work. The athlete lasts a month or whatever the story is. It is a value exchange at the end of the day. It's awesome to build relationships with the athletes, like the relationships I had with Mickey and a lot of other guys. It's awesome. It's very nice to have that like kind of friendship, and then you can build the business together and go that way. So it's at the end of the day, your social media is important. It's super important. It's the way you present yourself, and if you're going to get a salary or whatever, or you're going to get just product, if you're not doing anything with the product, and if there's another thing, if you're not doing anything with the product, sorry, it's not going to work. No company's going to take you. And if you're doing the same thing as all the other athletes on the team as well, or whatever everyone on social media is doing, it's also not going to work, because we might as well just have one person there. You know what I mean? So look, it's a tricky subject. Sometimes guys also just fit the brand. They just got the look for the brand, and then you bring them on. It's just the way it is, unfortunately.
That is fair. Like that's something I can understand. Like when you're saying someone fits the brand, but the thing is, where someone comes out of nowhere, and I mean, like let's just say, like I mentioned, you launch off a new sponsored athlete, and the sponsored athlete still got another brand blasted all over the social media. Like,
Yeah, that's so unprofessional.
Yeah, you see, it all depends if you obviously contract bound or whatever the story is. But at the end of the day, if you're not committed to the brand that's just brought you on, and you can kind of see it from the get go if a guy's going to be good or he's not going to be good. It's like within the first 2-3 weeks, if there's this and that, and it's sorry about that, or all these excuses, you just know he's actually not, he or she's not in the game. But for someone just to come out of nowhere, like you said, and I actually, you know what? Will one of you send a message on the group? I want to find out what company this is. I want to know who this guy, who you guys are talking about. But look, at the end of the day, it will only bite them in the ass, in the long run, because if they bring you on this favoritism thing, no one's going to want to work with them in any case. So, yeah, that's the story. That's the
but
story.
what I want to say more about the sponsorship thing is also like, so just maybe I'm not saying this was what must happen. I'm just giving it out like an idea. So going back to our last conversation last week about athletes and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying sponsors should do this, but I mean this is where they could step in and obviously help an athlete establish themselves. For someone, for example, they might not have a fantastic following on social media and stuff like that, but they have a fantastic physique. They have the potential to go the distance. Why not pick up that athlete and help grow them? I mean, it's not to say that they're not going to obviously pay dividends at the end and grow their social media following through you by promoting your product. Obviously, you're going to repost them on your story. Your followers are going to follow them. Their followers are going to see this new guy. Obviously, that's how the following is going to be picked up. But from where from where I stand as an athlete and as a coach, I don't see that happening much, especially when it comes to the underprivileged guys. And I mean, like I said, we spoke about it in the last podcast. There's a lot of potential out there. A lot of guys that can go the distance, that has the tools. They just need that extra support and guidance to achieve those things.
See, I could actually speak on that because we've done that quite a few times, and we didn't really want any praise for it, anything like that, but we've been reached. A lot of people have reached out to us. I would say about a year ago when we started doing it, and we said to ourselves, let's look at these guys, like you said, what we spoke about in the last podcast. These underprivileged guys that can't pay for shows, the best way is probably for sponsorship to pick them up, grow their following. And we said, listen, let's do that. We don't expect much. We'll help you out. We'll help you with shows. We'll help you with clothing. With anything you need, with your tan, anything. All you need to do is post on your social media. That's it. It's a simple value exchange. If anything, we're giving a lot more than we're getting. Okay, especially the fact that it didn't have a big following. And what's the craziest thing in the world to me is if someone gives a handout to you and you don't take it. It's like we've had a few of those people take the opportunity and do absolutely nothing with it. It's like it blows my mind completely that someone's offering you pretty much a complete show package, clothing, any support you need. We even said, listen, yeah, if you need any extra cash for supplements or food, let us know. Whatever the story is, we do that type of thing, and guess what we get back? Nothing. Look, it's not going to happen all the time, but it's happened to us in the past, and it's bits us in the arse. So look, that's the only thing I can say about that. It's not. Sometimes it's not viable, but you just got to find the right people, I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's that person's loss if they don't grab that opportunity. But also, it's like also just looking. Yeah, like you said, it's not going to happen all the time. But also, like I don't think it's an approach that you can just give up on or should give up on. But like I say, it's not. I'm not saying this is what sponsors should do, companies should do. I'm just saying that maybe don't give up on that approach of maybe looking at guys like that, and obviously maybe just dig a bit deeper into into them as people before like offering them such an opportunity. Yes, win the show, line up, fantastic, cool. But who is that person? Like dig a little bit deeper and get to know them and see before offering them something like that. Seeing if they're willing to really go that distance and see whether if they have that discipline and motivation. Not motivation. Motivation is a wild word to use. Is that discipline to go that distance and that you can help them.
Yeah, 100%. 100% agree with you. And we're definitely not opposed to doing it again. But you burn your fingers once and you don't do it again. So we'll find the right people to do it. And we know lots of people like that. And I'm sure Mickey can also talk about this a lot. Guys that, because we obviously spoke about it in the last podcast. Chris, I know obviously you weren't with us on that one, but we just spoke about guys not being able to afford some of the shows and the NPC shows and whatever. So look, there are a lot of guys, and I mean, if we can, as a collective, if we can help people do these things and speak about the RBFF and NPC and whatever, and actually get them involved in this type of thing, that'd be fantastic. But I'm sure Mickey can obviously speak on that a bit.
Now, before you just go, I'll be back just now. Give me 5 minutes.
No problem, bro. No problem.
Chachi.
I can relate what Lal is saying about, because I know myself and Lal as well. I think it was last year and the year before, we tried to recruit some athletes as well for GSI to stand out and help them. And it was a massive bite in the companies and I'm sure it's not only GHI. There's many companies out there that also don't want to take that risk. So people's gonna say it's about the followers and so on, but for me personally, it's also not. You will see there's some athletes that have like 1,000 followers or 2,000, 5,000 followers, but they're still sponsored by good companies like Evox or NPL, for instance, and stuff like that. So now the way I see the way things go is not just about the followers. It's just some athletes are seriously fucked up lazy. They could have just maybe like bring their part as well to the company, but they just want to receive but not give out. You understand? That's just my opinion, because I've been already also stabbed in the back many times before. You can give these athletes, but at the end of the day, they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's tough, and I know what you're talking about, Mickey. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It is look, like you said, it is about the followers. So for everyone watching that is looking for sponsors and stuff, it definitely is. You need followers, but if you got 40,000 followers and you make one post every 2 months, that also doesn't do anything. So you gotta have a decent following at least, but you got to put in the work. The more work you put in, the more you're going to get out to the company. And if the company doesn't reciprocate, that's okay. That's fine. Leave the company. Go to another company. You know what I mean? That's your prerogative. So yeah, at the end of the day, you just put in the work. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it's also not easy to be sponsored by companies. It looks nice and rosy and stuff like that, but it's not that easy.
But it's not that easy, but also, sorry, bro. Go ahead.
If you're a paid sponsored athlete and a sponsored athlete for some companies, it's not that easy. Companies expect a lot from you.
Of course. Like I said, it's a value exchange. Sorry, Chris. What did you want to say? Sorry, bro.
Oh, sorry, no, dude. All I wanted to say is it's great, but let's refer, because the company we're talking about it's a supplement company. Dude, I'm sorry, but I'm also not gonna take a sponsor that's gonna give me a whey protein every month. That's all I'm getting. Like you know, like, and I must do all this work and post I'm making this like for protein. It's a different story. If you look at international sponsorships, dude, they fly you out. They actually pay you a fee. They pay you appearance fee. They pay for all your shows. They fly you to every show. Look, I know we can't really compare that, but the problem is with supplement companies is they expect the same return from a sponsored athlete as international sponsored athletes. But what somebody is getting from, let's say, let's look at a perfect example like Nick Walker and HD Muscle, how he went over. Like, dude, that guy's salary is probably like, or even back in the day, Jay Cutler has one of the biggest biggest contracts ever was with Muscle Tech. They paid him back then $50,000 a month. Yes, I know you can't really compare the two to Jay Cutler versus like me, but you know, like you can't expect the same exchange from an athlete by giving them a whey protein a month. Like invest, you invest a bit as well, then rather than just, you know. So that's just my 2 cents about it.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you have to, you know, it definitely has to be an equal thing. But you know, also what I've seen is if a company does give you something, so let's take a crazy overseas brand, let's say Muscle Tech, like you said. If Muscle Tech sponsors you and gives you the certain amount, if you reciprocate with the equal amount and more, and you carry on doing that for extended period of time, I can tell you if the company is loyal to you and they're a proper company, they're going to give you better and better and better, and everything's going to each couple of months, each 6 months, especially if you have a contract with them, obviously 6 months, 12 months, it's going to get better. It's going to increase. So my advice to guys, especially the guys that don't have a big following and stuff, if you do get a small sponsor, go all in on it, and then say to them after 6 months, show your statistics. Say, listen, this is what I brought into the company. At the end of the day, this is what I've done for the company in the last 6 months. What's next? Let's reconsider this contract. You know, that's for in my opinion, from dealing with athletes and stuff. If an athlete said to me, listen, I haven't been reciprocated. It's been 6 months. This is what I've done. What are we going to do? I'd way more appreciate that than them just go, oh, okay, well, I'm not getting that much, so I might as well just stop. Stop. You know, communicate with your guys as much as you can. You know, be transparent with the company owners. That's what I would say.
Yeah, which also comes back to like coach hopping and federation hopping. Like if you with company A and then company B and company C in a period of 6 months, dude, like, you know, it's exactly like a job, dude. What we do is a job. So if you're going to be with 4 companies in 6 different months, it looks bad on you, dude.
Of course, it looks bad, and now you're starting from the bottom again. It's
exactly,
like,
and it's even worse. You actually in a worse space because no company. Why have you been with 4 companies in the past 6 months? Like, it's gonna look bad, even if it's, and that's just
No, very true.
That blows my mind. A company sees that you're with, or sees an athlete with another company, and then they still allow this athlete that's come from 2 other companies to come to their company. That blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's wrong. And tell me, this specific situation that you're talking about, Ahmad, were they all 3 like the same type of company, like all supplement companies or whatever?
The question that you answered, I think I know which company that is. It's the exact same company I spoke about from last year. It's the exact same company, the supplement company. Yes. I'll
Yeah,
send you.
that's strange. Look,
I don't want to rat people out here and cause more
But
drama.
maybe because I know as well. Maybe they're doing something. Maybe, I don't know, dude. It's the company choice, and they're also business owners. I'm sure they make proper decisions, and you know. But I also, some athletes that are with companies are just like, how is this guy sponsored? Like, if I look at his, not being rude, but like if I look at the guy's physique and like his following, and like just like, how the fuck is this guy sponsored?
yeah,
You know, and it blows my mind.
Like I understand what Lars is like. You have 40,000 followers and you post once a month or something like that, and that's not going to work. But now, what about vice versa? we're posting so much, and the following is okay, but those guys aren't getting sponsors, even though they're posting on a regular basis, trying to motivate people. Like, because I know a couple of people that do that. Like, I mean, they don't have the greatest following, but they're posting every day or at least 3 times a week, trying to build their social media. And it's not. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's not really easy to build up social media these days. I mean, your posts get lost in the algorithm so quickly. I mean, the algorithm's changing on a regular basis. So not easy to get out there, but I mean, like I know a lot of guys, like I said, posting on a regular basis, but they don't have a great following. But what about those guys?
Yeah, you bring up a good point, bro. It's a tough situation because I've also been in that situation, where there are guys that are, have a moderate following, but they're putting in all the effort, and they still don't get the sponsorship. And it's tough, at the end of the day, it's player versus player. You got to try
Life,
be,
I
you know,
guess.
it's the harsh reality of bodybuilding and how these things work. Unfortunately, sometimes your efforts doesn't pay off. Unfortunately, it just. But then again, at the end of the day, if you know that your social media isn't on point, you have to fix it. It's a harsh thing to say, but that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Um, but yeah. So you go. How you doing, brother?
And hasn't
I'm
said a
doing
word.
good, man.
You good? What do you think about the whole sponsorship situation?
Personally, I think there's a frustrating point for me actually from both sides, from not only athlete sides but as well actually from the company's side. Like, I'm pretty sure all of us have heard some interesting stories. Maybe some of us have even seen some of the skeletons. I mean, I've heard of some of one or two, like, um, things that they do, like the type of way that they do their business. Um, and for me personally, it's just I think that especially the younger athletes, the up and coming athletes, uh, they have this idea of what being sponsored is, and I think it's simply the association with your name. And the thing that they don't understand is that even the biggest names in the world are not just sponsored to be associated with them. It's not. They still have to do content. They still have to do physical. They still the biggest guys, Ronaldo, Nadal, all these guys. They're sponsored. They're posting things on social media. They're making advertisements. You cannot expect yourself to just be like, okay, you're gonna sponsor me because I'm so awesome, and I'm just gonna sit on my ass. Like, and I'll post when I feel like it. If I think it's gonna get a lot of likes and I think it's gonna get traction. Like, I'm sorry if it doesn't get traction or whatnot. You have a certain amount of posts that you need to make. You need to put your face out there enough times for people to realize and then go after it. But then it's on the same side from companies. I feel that some companies are very difficult to get into and they're very well regulated. But then there's other companies that I feel flip flop a little bit too much. And I think sometimes they expect a lot from the athletes. Um, Sometimes maybe giving a little bit too little. And then the athlete has to put their foot forward, like always act, kind of act like the company belong. Um, so yeah, there's not that many companies, but there's one or two that I can think of that are like this, that they don't actually come.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, we're not here to obviously sit and call out companies' names and all that stuff. I mean, but what's nice for me is to also get understanding from guys like you guys that are athletes, have had sponsors before, looking for sponsors. Um, I'll say this from the company side. I'll be honest with you, it's actually the toughest part about doing this business is dealing with athletes a lot of the time. So if you're easy to work with and stuff, and they see that you're really putting in the effort, and when you have an issue with the company, you actually bring it up and not just let it just sit until you just say fuck it and leave. That's never going to work. So rather just bring it up to the company before it gets out of hand, or you're unhappy. Mention it to them. If they don't like it, they don't like it. Move on. Because then the relationship's never going to work in any case. And actually, Mickey, I know you obviously you just had something similar as well with regards to sponsorships and stuff. So how exactly does that dynamic work? And also, how exactly did you go about getting those sponsorships?
That's good. Also, about who you know, obviously, in your last answers. Also, like, just by emails. Also, is that background noise?
Yeah, I don't know if it's I could actually can't hear.
From my side.
Yeah, I think so. I can't actually hear
Okay.
Mickey.
Okay, wait. Let me move. Give me 5 seconds.
No worries.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's just a background noise.
Yeah,
My
I
show
can hear you so much better now.
was hectic. Yeah. No, look, it's also like who you know in the industry, but you like you guys say, your name needs to be like well known as well. You understand? It's quite tough to get a sponsorship. It's quite tough. But as a young upcoming athlete, you can't like post about supplement A and then supplement B, then supplement C, then supplement D, and use everything and they see your whole social media is about Evox or NPL or USN or whatsoever. You understand? So you need to commit yourself to one brand and one brand only. Even though you're going to post and post and post, you tag them in and tag them in. You just need to show your loyalty as well to the supplement brand or any brand. You see, it's quite tricky because at the end of the day, for these guys, it's a business. It's like really a business for them because they set up contracts that is way different and difficult. Everyone would love a supplement brand, but if you see that contract and look through that contract, and it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot, to be honest with you. It's basically a second job. A second job.
Yeah, I see.
On that point of you saying you have to stick to, or not, like you can show a company your loyalty. Because remember, like we go back to affordability of supplements. If you're not sponsored or you don't have anything like that, you're gonna go with something that you can afford, not something you like. Sometimes the things you like, people can't afford it. I mean, that's also the sad reality of it. That is where, like, I'm gonna voice that opinion of like they shouldn't have looked at it like someone who's not sponsored be loyal to that company. It's about how they're promoting the product. Never mind the brand of what it is. It's something that they believe in because they're using it, and it's something they can afford. Like I'll make this example out of myself as well. Like I use the brands that I like and I know I yield results from it. So I use those brands. Um, Not to say that I'm loyal to one or loyal to the other one. I'll use the brand that I feel that's what works for me. Like, and I mean, if I can afford it, that's what I'm going to spend my money on it. I'm fortunate enough to be able to afford the stuff that I like and that I enjoy, and that I know that works for me. So I use that brands. But I mean, I'm speaking about other people that isn't as fortunate to be able to afford those stuff. So they use different types of brands. Obviously, they'll use a creatine, for example, from USN, or a whey protein from Biogen, or and a pre-workout from Heavy Nation. Just for an example, because it's what they can afford. You understand? So it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something that companies can maybe look at and speak and take a look at and see. Okay, this guy's promoting products. Maybe he can promote our products just as well if he uses it and believe in it. And that's the one thing what it irks me. If you get approached by a sponsor, or a sponsor or company, you as a person need to really believe in the product and make sure that the product really works for you. Because you can't just, before we go back to that same situation that we went earlier, where one guy is sponsored by this company and he's saying one thing about this company, and then a new sponsor approaches him and says, listen, come to us, and then he's saying the same thing about that company. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now,
So you
sorry
see-
to interrupt. This is better, dude.
Yeah, we can hear you power.
Is it? Okay, sorry about that, gents.
No worries. No
The
worries.
fucking load shedding, so it doesn't help us in my apartment. Hills of South Africa, hey?
Yeah. What was I going to say now? Yeah, oh yeah, this is the thing, and this is maybe another piece of advice that will help guys out. If you right now don't have a good following, or you don't have a sponsorship or whatever, rather invest your time and maybe a little bit of money into improving the quality of your photos on your social media. It's so big. I can tell you right now, when me and my team sit down and we look at things like this and the athletes and stuff, I can tell you now, if you go into, even if you have an amazing physique, it's straight away when we look at your profile and you got blurry photos and they just like don't make any sense. They're just like some weird selfie, tricep selfie, and like some broken mirror. Even if it's a fucking awesome tricep, straight away the first thing we think is when you're wearing our brand, it's gonna look terrible. So I mean I think that's a huge thing, is to rather invest in a decent phone or decent camera than buying like 20, let's say Muscle Tech, just for instance, going to buy like a 20 tubs of Muscle Tech and then promoting it. Rather first get your quality of your content up and go from there, because most also the supplement companies. I spoke to these guys before. At the end of the day, if they look at your profile and your quality of your photos is shit, you're not going to get it. I can tell you that for free. So there's a little tip. Hopefully that helps a bit.
That was interesting to hear, actually.
Yeah,
I didn't actually really think of that, but it makes sense, because look at any guys these days, like the content. If they own a proper camera, or you're like lucky enough to be from the US and you have like a photographer following you and videoing you and all that, like, I mean, first of all, your Instagram page is just going to look so much better because it looks professional. Um, Even the same thing for when you're making a YouTube video. Are you making the video by recording it on your phone and editing on there and then posting it, or are you using a video camera and like a professional one and doing it on a professional editing platform and then posting that? So, I mean, yeah, who wants to see a shitty quality photo and you can barely even see the logo of the thing that you're wearing? Like, why would you?
of course, bro. And another thing I would say, for example, if you're out there and you want a Herbalife sponsorship, okay? I hope no one watching this wants a Herbalife sponsorship. But anyways, that's the only brand I'll bash, because
Fuck sakes.
I won't bash any other brand, but that brand, sorry guys. Anyways, if you want a Herbalife brand and your whole profile is you sitting on camera talking about stuff and swearing and talking about politics and all this shit, you're not going to get that sponsorship. And if you carry on that way, you're not going to get the sponsorship. That's just the way it is. It doesn't align with their brand. Now, I'm not saying change your whatever you do to fit that brand. No. Rather find a brand that fits you. You know what I mean? You don't have to change everything about you to fit the brand. Rather just find a different brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, you're not gonna. Yeah, fucking hell. I'm gonna start getting a lot of shit with this podcast. I can see. I'm starting to
but
get a little bit more comfortable. I'm like, okay, let's fucking go.
no,
You know?
fuck. But it's the truth, dude. And I just see these talking about it because I will bash them. Like fucking these Herbalife posts and like, come on, guys. Like it's just. Let me just stop there.
Oh no, it's
But
actually
still, dude.
it's
Yeah,
comic.
it's ridiculous. Like, and it also, you know what flabbergastes me is the naivety of these people, because they'll put a picture up of like let's say Chris Bumstead, okay, and then they'll put up a picture of like a Herbalife fucking fat burner, and then people be like, if I use this fat burner, I will look like that in 3 weeks. Like fuck, dudes. Like just be realistic. Like,
Yeah.
and dude, the amount of people that are actually like falling for this pyramid scheme, because that is what Herbalife is. Dude, if you look at the ingredients, like it's fucking like 3 grams of soy protein per serving. Like, if the pyramid, and then they're like, the best is they just look at this person and be like, if I use this supplement, how will you look like that? And I have McDonald's for breakfast every night, for dinner every night.
It's all the vegans, bro.
Fuck's sakes, dude. And I just like, I just literally, I've learned just to smile and wave and just be like, okay, sweet,
Yeah.
dude. That's what it takes.
You see, that's the thing. I would like the reason why I say I never bash other brands is because just because I don't like another brand doesn't mean other people don't like it. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and. But brands that I will bash is false advertising and lying, like that type of shit. You know, it's like that fucking guy on YouTube that I forget his name, but he's like he does all the ads and he says you don't need to do cardio to lose weight. You can eat pizza and all that shit. Who's that fucking stuff?
T-shirt.
Can't handle that.
That T-shirt guy.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd love to slap him in his face.
That
man.
is the
Yeah,
worst
but you
guy.
also, dude, like, how fucking naive are you gonna be to believe that?
People believe these things, bro.
Be surprised.
Dude, no, I'm saying, but like that's also your own stupidity. But I'm very
Yeah.
true. Like I've had so many, because obviously you guys know I am a personal trainer myself, and I had so much clients that just doesn't have the concept of nutrition. Like they think, you know, I can come see Chris 3 times a week, and nutrition is really like abs is built in the kitchen. I mean, my off season versus my on season right now, like I'm eating the exact same foods, which is majority chicken and rice, but like the amount differs and my body looks completely different. And that still shows you just by eating clean what food really does. And my training is the same. Look, I'm not doing cardio because I'm trying to keep the calories in, but the fundamentals of the importance of actually like proper nutrition and the dirty bulking, and you just eat clean, eat a shit ton of food, and you'll get there.
Yeah, and also, I don't know if you guys have found. Well, look, obviously, all the guys that are actually like coaches and trainers and stuff, you'll always catch yourself not understanding why a client or just people in your everyday life don't understand like nutrition and shit. I'm sure you've had that, and you're just like they ask you a question, you're just like, how does everyone not know this? It's just the fact that we're all in this business and we're all in this social media thing and whatever, and we understand it so well, and you've been doing it for so long that it's kind of weird for us to even understand like how people don't know like really what carbs are or how protein works, like shit like that. And I mean, I even feel that when people ask me, and I'm just like, like obviously sugar's fucking bad. Like what are you talking about? But it's just because you've been in it for so long that it's strange. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, because one thing on that, like to touch base, like which I've noticed, and this is like I laugh about it because like it's so stupid, but for them it's really not. So let's say 300 grams of protein, like we know that's but like people think, okay, cool, if I eat 300 grams of chicken breast, that's 300 grams of protein.
Yeah.
And so many dude, like I laugh at them like, how are you this stupid? But like you need to realize that like people really, that's how they think, dude. Like that's really how people think. They don't have the depth of knowledge that we do. Then so it's things like that you would have to explain, but once they get it, they get it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's not their fault. It's just, when you're doing this every day and you understand like all the stuff and you get, these type of things, and that's why I mention is because unfortunately people don't understand it, and then they subscribe to people like that fucking other piece of shit. That's also, and he's a marketing genius at the end of the day, because he's making all this money. He's all over, he's everywhere. And he's just selling absolute bullshit. It was like, same thing with like Liver King and all that shit, whatever. I mean, people can bash the Liver King and whatever. Everyone has their opinion on it and stuff. At the end of the day, he's an absolute marketing genius.
No, it is.
I mean, he lied to people and shit, which is fucking wrong. It's disgusting to me. You shouldn't lie to people, but smart.
No, but a lot of people say they're natty and stuff like that. Like I agree to that if you want to believe that. But dude, you're gonna eat goat testicles? Like, come on, fuck's sakes. Like, dude, you have to be like, you cannot be that stupid. Like, let's be honest. It just mind boggles me every day.
Yeah, no, look. But actually, let's before we end, let's quickly. I'll go around the group. What is We'll maybe just give a quick view. What did you think about the whole Liver King situation? I know it's obviously in the past, but we brought it up now. Let's start with Chris. What did you think about that whole situation?
Look, dude. People claiming they're natural. If I put myself in the shoes, like if somebody's gonna come up to me and be like, "Listen, are you enhanced or you're natural?" Like I'm gonna tell them what I'm on. I'm not gonna like hide it because I'm not gonna lie to somebody because also people also aren't stupid. So first of all, if you want to believe the guy's natural or not, by all means, because a lot of actors, let's use people like Dwayne Johnson and things like that. Like they all claim natural, like they're not, But also, you need to see their view of things because his following is literally like billions or millions, dude. So if a 19-year-old kid, which is not as smart in things like ways, think like if Dwayne the Rock Johnson admits to it, he's going to be like, cool, I'm going to use steroids because he's influenced to that extent. So I get where the Liver King as well, like really didn't say it, but like really going this whole fucking primal thing of like eating goat liver and dog testicles and like what fucking ever he said. Like, come on, dude, like you can't say that. And then when he got like outed out by, I think he got outed by Nick Trigidi, hey?
It was Derek from.
Oh shit! Oh, his blood got leaked. Yeah, I remember. So, dude, his whole reputation didn't kind of get squashed, but he admitted to it and he said, "I'm sorry, but it's your choice. You still want to follow the guy and stuff like that." But people really need to realize how many people really are on steroids. Like being natural is people aren't, dude, and having the progress, making the progress that these people do over the amount of time naturally is literally impossible. I mean, I went off for with myself. I went off for 8 weeks. I didn't lose size, dude, but my strength declined everything. I went on back last week Thursday. I did check-ins. I had check-ins this morning as well, dude. I'm like 4 kgs up. Like I'm lifting already like twice the amount. I'm a lot more straighted, like you can see it, and I've picked up weight. So like, and this is a week of this enhanced. So there's a big difference with people to play by being like not on stuff. And we spoke about it, I know, but like I don't know how fucking people do it, dude. Like I wouldn't go ever in my life go fucking natural. Like, but then again, it's the door. We're going off topic from the Liver King, but if, like I explained to you, it's a door that you've opened. So for the rest of my life, I am going to know what's on the other side of the door. If you haven't experimented with it and if you don't know what it's like, you'll never wonder because you don't know. So, so I think there's 2 ways of going this. Like people like the Liver King needs to be very careful of what he says because of his audience. So anybody is going to be stupid. If you have people that's so stupid about nutrients, they think they're going to use steroids and look like Ronnie Coleman in a week. Like you actually need to work so much harder and be so much more disciplined by being on the stuff than being off it.
Of course.
So yeah, dude, he just admit to, if you fuck up, admit to it, and like correct your wrongs. Don't go on, because 100% he's lying again. Now he's like, oh, I'm off gear, I'm never doing it again, I was so stupid. Motherfucker's lying again, dude. So he's just repeating his pattern.
Yeah, because he's gonna have to be on something. He's probably gonna have to be on something.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, you have to be on TRT at least. And admit
yeah,
to
and I
that,
mean,
but like,
at that age, and also he's still, it seems like he's still maintaining quite a bit of size. But anyways, that's all up for, whatever. But anyways, what do you think, Ahmad?
Bro, I don't even want to talk about this fool, to be honest with you. Like, I mean, like, I never even paid attention to him when I heard about this Liver King nonsense. I was like, what is going on? I mean, we live in a strange generation. It goes down again to the social media thing. Yeah, bro, I mean, um, it does irk me a lot that a lot of people claim they're natty and stuff like that. Oh, I had a social media guy um, explain everything to me that what he's taking, and then turns around a week later and claims natty on social media. I'm like,
bruh, I would out that guy. Just screenshot the stuff he sent to you and just fucking tag him.
bro. So I'm like, people like that irk me. As I said, like I don't entertain it. I don't even bother. I mean, it's difficult to say they're wrong, they're right, or whatever, because at the end of the day, the people who's listening to them are at fault as well. Because I mean, you can only be so gullible. Also, then do the research for yourself. Don't get sold by someone who has a great following, or just because they're well known or they were on TV. Just because of that, then don't take their words for what they're saying. I mean, don't be that gullible. But I don't think they get that far. It is coming. I think it is coming to the point of where people are not bothered by the the natty claims and shit like that. I mean, it's now gone. That day and age is gone where people are believing the fake natties and stuff like that. So I don't have anything to say about the Liver King because I never really paid attention to him, and I've only heard about the stories that came out on Nick Tragili's page, and I'm like, well, when I looked at him, when I saw his physique for the first time, I was not a hell, this bro, he's natural, and I was like, whatever. I
Do you
didn't.
think he has ab implants?
No, I don't really think so. Like, look at his physique. I mean, he must have been training for a long time. Obviously, his midsection is just very mature. There's obviously the way he trains, his genetics and stuff like that. I don't think it's really implants. It's also like if he's been taking GH for so long and he's been training his abs, it's gonna grow. I mean, um,
Yeah,
like I said, maybe just genetic.
growth. Yeah, growth hormone normally do that with his gut.
So
Because it is
now,
extended. Yeah, it is extended.
me looking, like I said, I don't really want to. Don't have anything to say really much about it, to be honest. Um, yeah.
Sure, yeah, look, bro. It's yeah, fuck. Actually, I've got such a. Anyways, we'll get to me. Mickey, what do you think?
I really don't need to say a lot. You guys say most of the stuff. I also have all those. I have actually a lot of people that bash me about my physique and stuff like that. That they say, yeah, I never mentioned that I was ever natural or something like that. Yeah, I use PEDs because if you're in a pro stage, you're gonna have to use PEDs. You're not gonna be natural like have that physique overnight on natural. It's impossible. You understand? So I have some guys, I'm not going to mention, that bashed me on social media that said, yeah, I'm using PEDs. That's why I'm in this situation with PEDs and stuff like that. But they are the ones using so much PEDs and they just tell themselves on social media they are natural and natural, natural. And they only compete in natural bodybuildings and no other bodybuilding federation at all. So the only way that they can win is compete against natural guys. And then they state they are natural, but they are not. So it's just quite frustrated. But I seriously don't care about the Liver King. I just think it's he knew what he was doing because he knows that look, if I break the internet algorithm on what I'm going to do and say, and he actually done it. because doing that and lying makes him more popular because a lot of people is going to talk about him. And the social media algorithm is going to change. You understand? So people's going to bash him, and that is what he wants because it's just a social media marketing.
True. 100%. 100%. You go, what do you think?
I have a big, big problem with guys not being honest about taking stuff. Like, I really hate the fact, like, if people don't own up to what they do, whether it's good or it's bad. Like, I don't get it. Honestly, I really just don't get why do you think that you're gonna be so influential? Like, just from the get-go, just be straight up with people. Like, listen, I take stuff. That's all you need to know. If you even want to know that. If that's really so important for you, here, okay. There's my license. I'm not natty anymore. And I think people find way too easily the easy way out of things or the easy way to get there. Oh, this Herbalife shake is going to get me shredded, absolutely mind-blowingly shredded in 3 weeks. No. Oh yeah, if I start taking test and maybe some D-ball, all of a sudden I'm going to blow up like a balloon and I'm going to be razor peeled. You know, and oh, here's the other thing. When people say, I just laugh. I don't want to like tell them straight up about it because I don't want to sound like I'm smarter than them or make them feel stupid or anything. But like when people say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take this," especially, yeah, I'm gonna take Winstrol, and that's gonna get me shredded and rock hard muscle. Like, my dude, there is no compound that you can use that literally burns the fat for you. It helps. Everything here helps. You can't just take the thing and think it's gonna do it for you. It's not your momo, okay? It's a very potent oil that's gonna help you get there. So stop looking for the easy way out. And even when you do take that, guess how long you're gonna have to work with that stuff before you actually get to what you really want to get to. You gotta put the hard work in. And if you think that taking the stuff that Liver King is taking, like, guys, really, do we need to start like people like not to be naive in school? Like, come on, guys, ask a little bit more questions. There is never You can never know too much. Ask questions, ask how they got there. If it looks too good, then it is too good. So don't be
Yeah, I mean,
don't be that naive. Come on.
at the end of the day, the thing is also when it comes to gear and stuff, obviously, a lot of people are naive about it because it's still like a lot less now, but it's still something that a lot of people don't talk about. It's like everyday people don't need to talk about it because they're not involved in any sports that require it and stuff like that. They don't understand it. And I mean, I even have mates and stuff that have zero clue. They've been training for a long time and they've been gymming and dieting, whatever. They couldn't even tell you anything about gear. It's crazy. It goes back to the same thing about diet. Like, we're in this circle, so it's weird for us to think that people actually subscribe to the fact that Liver King was natural. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But that's but I guess that's what we're trying to do, with the podcast, to educate people on these things, even though I'm not claiming that I know everything about everything, but we know a bit more than the average person. So if we can do that, and I mean, my opinion, just to finish off, my opinion of Liver King, I think, extremely intelligent guy, extremely good at marketing, great businessman, but he fucking lied. He's a liar. That's it. You know what I mean? He's a liar. He lied to people. I think he's getting sued. Apparently, he's getting sued for 500 million. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. I don't really know how or what the lawsuit would be. You know, but anyway, I guess it's false advertising. I don't know, but look, fucking genius, absolutely genius. Just you know, also he's an idiot and a genius at the same time.
I like how Lyle can sugarcoat things, John. Yo, I love it.
No, dude, when it comes to gear, it's actually such a difficult topic because I've got so many youngsters coming up to me, and like when I look at like friends of mine, like Instagram stories and like or Q&As of people like asking stuff, like the questions are so stupid, dude. But the only advice I can give is like, if you're not going to compete and you don't want to make this a career, don't ever touch the stuff. Like it will fuck you up 6 months, and if it's just not worth it, dude. And the only way you're gonna learn is through trial and error, dude. That is literally how I've learned. It took me 10 years of PED usage to know this compound works like this. Okay, cool. This compound works like this with my body and react because let's use me and Lau, for example. My body is going to be so different to yours, dude. And what works for you is not going to work for me. Yeah. And the problem is, even if I come to you, and this is what people do, is like, either you get 3 individuals here. You get one that's going to tell you anything to make a quick buck out of you, which just pisses me off so much because they'll sell you anything to make money out of you. Then number 2 is there's a guy that's going to claim natty all the time. Like, oh, bro, I'm not going to use anything, which is probably the best out of all these 3 because then the guy that's asking the questions is going to stay natural. And then you get the third guy that really just gives insane amounts. Like, dude, I've heard like 5,000 milligrams of test a week and like 300 train. I was like, holy fuck! Like, how do you even compound for this? And then now this is the problem, dude. Now this lighty of 18-year-old is so confused that he's gonna be like, okay, cool. Well, this guy said I must use 2,000 milligrams of train a week. He's gonna do it.
Look,
and that's
5 grams of test a week. Oh, fuck.
It's the 2 grams of trend for me.
Yeah, as well. I mean, look, they're just as bad as each other, but holy fuck, dude.
I've heard these stories. It's like literally horror stories. And I'm like, dude, what's going to happen to the 18-year-old that actually going to use this amount or that doesn't do anything? So the best advice I can give is just stay off of it until, like, do your research for 3 years, buy books, like, do shit. I don't know, dude. It's such a gray area to give advice on. But yeah, it's because nobody's going to give you honest advice. And even if somebody does give you honest advice, it's not going to work similar to what it happens for me.
True. Very true. Okay, Yessie. Can you believe we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes? Fuck no. Okay, boys. Yeah, crazy. But actually, yes, I can't believe what you're telling me about 5 grams of test a week.
Dude, I think I posted on my story a couple of weeks ago. I watched a YouTube channel, and it's like what the pros use. And this guy is literally like, I don't know if he's trying to make a joke out of it or like, bro, and how, because if he was using, I think it was like 5,000 tests, like 2,000 train and like 4,000 Mastrom or something like that. So it obviously, and then I was like, first of all, dude, you're talking shit because if you're using that, you will not be alive. Like, you will fucking peg within one shot.
I'm neat, bro.
Imagine how many mils that is in a syringe. You're going to buy these fucking 20 mil syringes.
How many tablets of Arimidex was he taking? 10 a day.
you see, so this is which pisses me off, dude. This is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people that's lying. You're dealing with people saying I'm natty. You're dealing with people. It's such a gray area, dude. And I'm grateful that I've studied and like I've done my research to know what works with me, and I've had good people in my life that gives me honest advice. But dude, I was lucky. You're gonna get so many guys out there that I've witnessed firsthand that's just gonna take anything. And this is the thing. Think they're gonna take this and they're gonna look like literally like full ETH in a week. Like, dude, this is not the case. So people need to have a reality check about this and really do your research, dude. Like, don't read forums because forums is the amount of bullshit there is. Just the best advice I could give is do research like years and years and like keep a track on it because then that's just my 2 cents I can give.
Yeah. Sometimes more isn't more isn't more. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Sometimes less is more. So, but yeah, thanks, boys. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank
That was it.
Like-
Another good one. I'll see you next week. And yeah, have a good Easter weekend.
you.
Do
Do you have no
Cheers.
questions and answers?
Sorry?
You
No
have
other
no
questions.
Q's and A's?
No, actually, well, look, I actually really just wanted to get through that the one about the sponsors for today. But actually, I didn't get many questions to answer for this one. So, anyways, you know, as we go on, we'll hopefully get a shit ton, and it will make it also get some exciting ones that aren't just about bodybuilding, you know.
It's gonna make this thing longer.
Yeah, yeah, no. So we'll have to just do days of Q&As, some you know, once a month or whatever, once every 2 weeks.
Mm.
What's the topic for next week?
Yeah,
Sharp.
That's a topic
yeah.
for
I
next
think
week. What asking?
I don't know. I think everyone just broke up for me for some reason. Maybe I've got load shedding as well. No, I'm joking. Okay. Anyways, thanks, boys. Chris, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining.
Thanks
Other
for having
boys,
me,
thanks
guys.
so much. Eh?
Appreciate it.
Cool.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Hey.
We'll
See you
discuss
next
topics
week.
on the group.
Sorry?
We'll discuss topics on the group for next week.
100%.
Okay,
Power.
fantastic.
Cheers,
Cool.
boys.